Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At-Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. You didn't leave. All right, well done,
Nope,
there,
I'm
Danny.
here. I'm here. We made it through the intro. All
Yeah.
right.
Yoo-hoo! So, yeah, man, we are 7 weeks away from HomeDadCon. I don't know about you, but I'm itching to get out of here and get up to Milwaukee.
Yep. I am itching to get out of here. I don't care where we go though.
The senioritis is real.
It's every year, right about this time.
Yeah.
And I look at it every year and I'm like, wow, again, I'm just about burnout. I'm done. The summer needs to be over. These kids need to go back to school. We get back on our schedules, and we're having a great summer though. I don't mean to be complaining about it, but it's just we're on top of each other all day, every day.
Yep.
And I need a break, and I'm not taking breaks during the week. I'm not really doing great on my self-care and that, like, no, I need to just go be by myself and whatever. So keeping up with that. And we were talking about earlier today, and I'm like, I just want to order what I want to order to eat.
Yes.
Whatever it could be. I just want a salad. I want a pizza. I want a steak, whatever. But I just want to be able to go, no, I don't care what anybody else wants to eat. I don't have to make choodles for you and a salad for you, and you need some meat and no. This is just
I just need a bratwurst
style.
in one hand and a big mug of beer in the other hand.
Mug of beer. Yeah,
and some polka music playing in the background.
Pretty sure that'll be everywhere. Yeah.
That's what I understand. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, no, I'm in the same way. School's only about 3 weeks away for us, and honestly, like, I would be happy to like send them tomorrow, because it's just they have been back and forth at each other all summer. It's been just different with the fact that my daughter, she's really kind of coming into her own in a lot of ways for a 7-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's very strong, opinionated and strong-willed, but in a good way, as far as like she holds her own. It's awesome. Yeah. She's definitely not letting Big Brother push her around. And I think that and that kind of throws Big Brother off, because he thinks that he can do things, and she's not having it. So they've gone nose to nose a couple of times, especially today. I came home from dealing with a work situation, and Ruby was sitting at my desk and Hezekiah was in the living room. They both had Legos, and I was like, "What's going on, H?" And he was like, "Yeah, me and Ruby got into it, so Mama split us up." Like,
good for Mama. Good job.
Because she's still got to work too. It's just like, all right, you over there.
Yeah. that first kid, what do we call it? It's not bossiness anymore. Those leadership skills, that first kid has, and it's always hilarious. I have asked, the first two kids at least 30 times at least each. Hey, can I be in charge? Is that okay? And they're like, well, they were doing. I'm like, yeah. I know what they were doing. I know what the rules are. And I set the rules. I enforce the rules. You're just getting mad and yelling at people. Okay. This is not how we do it. It's not how leadership works.
The rules. Yeah, exactly.
Right. I was there when they were forged. Don't quote them to me.
No kidding. Yeah, I get that a lot. He also likes to be like, well, she's doing this. And I'm like, yeah, so like you were doing that. It's like they like try to tattle back and forth on each other. So that's kind of been a very, very interesting summer in that realm. But, it's one of those deals where I think we all of us dads are going through different elements and then there's some dads who are sending their kids back to school already, which I'm very jealous of those people. I saw I saw that like actually down in Atlanta, there was getting started. I know in Indianapolis, they just got started back up again too. There's probably a couple other places that I can't think of that have started, but I was just like, wow, like they started before July ended. That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
that's a short break right there.
Yeah, it was today for several a lot of our friends that we had back in Georgia,
Yeah.
and they like put it, they put it in an email or told us or Facebook or whatever it was, and I'm like, wow, Marnie, they're going back to school tomorrow or like in 2 days, what it was, and she was like, what? Yeah. Oh wow, because that's what we did when we lived there. But
Yeah.
now that we're here and we're in summer, it's like we've got a whole month of summer left, all of August. We don't go until September 6th, I think, or 5th, something like that. But the first week of September, we got 4 more weeks. We're going on trips. We've got
Yeah.
orchestra camp for another 2 weeks. We've got, all these things going on. I'm like, I understand and I appreciate the year-round schooling type thing where you only get like 2 months off, because it really, your kids do lose a lot in that time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I know it makes sense, but just not being in it and looking at it, yeah, I'm jealous. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
But also I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm be ready to send them. I'm just barely buying school supplies,
Well, one
you
of the
know?
people that I saw was Josh Levs posted that his kids went off to school today, and he was like, "It's silent in this house. I don't even know how to react right now." And I'm
Oh,
like, like I am waiting for that feeling. It
so
can't get here soon
jealous.
enough. I know. I'm like,
Yeah. Right.
dude. So, but yeah. So that's what's going on in the world. But tonight we have a special guest, a HomeDadCon speaker, which uh,
Mm-hmm.
this this person I actually I haven't had too much interaction with him at HomeDadCons, although I know he's very active and has been for
Mm-hmm.
years with the convention and things. But do you want to kind of give a little background on who we're talking to tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's Derek Tetlow, and he's giving a presentation on dads married to high commitment spouses. And he did that previously and I don't remember if it was Minneapolis or Portland. Now that I'm on the spot, but he did it previously, and it was really well attended. And looking at the studies we've done of our membership and of at-home parents or at-home dads specifically, there's a lot that are married to what you would be considered or that are in a relationship with a high commitment partner.
Yes. Oh yeah, there's
And
plenty of us.
right, and it really, and even like there's an entire different group, dads married to doctors,
Right.
and a doctor is their own world. I mean, their schedule is just overwhelming.
Well,
Talk about a
and
commitment,
there's dads married to physicians as well, which
Mm-hmm.
is
That
a
would make
different,
sense.
which is another group. I think Matt Strain's in that one, and yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of, it's kind of two different aspects of things, because like you get the doctors, and then there's like the physicians, and like I think their categories are much broader as far as who can
Mm-hmm.
be a part of that. But yeah, I mean, you got to
Yeah,
have that community, because those guys, and I mean even us too. I mean, our wives
yeah,
are
right.
are
Just you and
definitely in
me,
that high
right?
committed as well. So
Yeah, it's been. I mean, it's been a long road to get to where we're at, but to
yeah.
where all of that time and Marnie will say this and has said this long enough that I feel comfortable saying it. We wouldn't be here and she wouldn't be in her job where she's at if I hadn't stayed home with the kids.
That's our
I mean,
mantra too.
there was just no way. We had to do what we, I mean, I absolutely am glad we did this. This is the best way it could have worked out for our family. But really, we're the foundation of how she can fly,
Yeah.
how she can go wherever she could get a job anywhere in the world. And we would go and we take care of it and we do the things that we need to do here. And that's really something to remember. But dealing with that day to day of a high
Yeah.
commitment partner and just being like, oh yeah, I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning and take a call from wherever,
Yeah.
or I know I was going to be home Saturday, but I have to do this special training or I have to do this whatever. And the first 100 times it's disruptive and it's irritating and it's, oh, are you kidding me? But okay. But then after a while, you either learn to navigate it well, or sometimes you just get irritated and like, okay, yeah, I'll see you. I guess I'll see you when I see you.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
it's a
Well, and
lot involved with that. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
And two, I was swallowing there for a second. So basically, I think that too, his talk, the topic is going to be really good. I think for a lot of the new stay-at-home dads as well, who, maybe they're just wrestling with the idea of like, what does this world look like for,
Mm-hmm.
this high-profile partner of mine to be doing all these things
Mm-hmm.
and just balancing our life around it. And that's something I think sometimes can be just it's a really tight line to like walk and talk about with sometimes because there's some eggshell topics and that kind of thing that go on with it. So I'm very interested to hear his topic. Even the fact that Corey and I have been doing this for so long, like that would be a talk that I would go sit in on because I'm always trying to find a new a new little tool
Mm-hmm.
to be able to use in this wonderful ever changing world of being a stay at home parent and having a spouse that is very highly committed to her
Mm-hmm.
job. So yeah, but yeah, we'll take a short break here and we'll bring Derek on. Become a member of the National At Home Dad Network, an organization focused on providing advocacy, community, education, and support, connecting with households where dad is the primary caregiver of the children. We do this through our webinar and podcast series, mental health support groups, regular online social events, as well as our annual convention. The National At Home Dad Network is a 100% volunteer organization. Without the generous support of its members and the community around it, we would not be able to continue the work that we do. Becoming a member gives you access to past convention speaker presentations, the ability to vote for board members annually, and ensures that the organization's fees and bills are in positive standing. Oh yeah, it should not go unmentioned that there is some cool swag headed your way if you decide to become a member. For only $35 a year, your membership provides you with the exclusive content only we can generate, and you'll be supporting an organization that benefits families all around the country and world. By advocating for them, offering them community, providing education and guidance, and supporting them to grow in their parenthood journey. And one last thing, if you contribute $500 or more, you will become a lifetime member. Not only will you receive everything already mentioned, but also a certificate recognizing your status and an exclusive National At Home Dad Network challenge coin with our trademark logo, Dads Don't Babysit. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member today. Hey, everybody. Welcome back from the break. We have Derek Tetlow with us, and I'm excited to talk with him and get to meet him finally and actually have a conversation because I feel like with other conventions I've been running in every direction and he's there talking to everybody else, and then I hear about all the great conversations people had with him. So welcome to the show, Derek.
Yeah, thank you so much. Glad to be here. It's great to be here with you, Mr. Danny.
Mr.
Yep. Yep.
Danny. I have to think I'm going to
Yeah.
start. I think I'm going to have to start calling it that, like Mr. Carter. He's got
Or
that.
should I just say Mercer? Here
Oh,
with
man.
Mercer.
That works too. That works too. Like I said, I haven't really had a chance to get to know you. I don't know, many of our listeners who might know you. Some of them do. Probably some of them haven't had a chance to, especially with all the new folks that are going to be coming to the convention this year. So let's start off with just a little bit of getting to know you. Tell us a little bit about you and your family and just sort of how you got involved with HomeDadCon.
First convention was, as it so happens, I had just started being a stay-at-home dad. That was, God, it was that 9.5 years ago. And I was, everybody's encouraging me, saying, there's probably something out there, something for, other stay-at-home dads or whatever, just, peruse the internet. So I started poking around the internet. And as it so happens, 2 weeks from that time that I started poking around on the internet about stay-at-home dads, the convention came up, and lo and behold, it was in Denver, Colorado. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. So because, I lived there. And so I went to first convention was, I think, the second Denver convention. And then it moved to Raleigh for 2 years. And so that was my first convention. I didn't make it to either of the Raleigh conventions. And I think my next one back was, if I recall correctly, I think that was Portland. Wasn't that after the two Raleigh? I think.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So Portland, and I was really impressed by that. I mean, I enjoyed the Denver one a lot, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of people out here who are doing and going through the same kind of stuff that I am, because I was a brand new stay-at-home dad. I'd never done it before, obviously, so I was really a blank slate when it came to that. And then Portland, met some really great people. Actually, I think Mark Longbreak, actually, he's going to be on your show, I think,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
in a couple weeks.
Yep. Yep.
And he and I have become extremely close friends. We met actually at the Portland convention, and so we became friends right after. It took a little while, because Mark admitted to me. He said, if you hadn't reached out to me and sort of like pushed a friendship between the two of us, this never would have happened. So he's like,
Uh-huh.
thank you so much. And
Yeah.
now we speak at least once a week, if not twice a week,
Mm-hmm.
on the phone. He's in
That's
Connecticut.
awesome.
I'm here. Yeah. And we've really just, we had a 2.5 hour conversation today over the phone. He actually called me, and we had a great conversation. But so anyway, we that's where we met, and then I've come to every stay-at-home dad convention since then, and it's been great. I've met a lot of wonderful people, and I think the thing that really obviously bonds us is going through the same exact stuff. I mean, like we always say, and I know that it's been said in the mental breakout sessions a lot of times with Lauren, that you're not alone. I mean, we're a big group of dads. We're all out there for support for each other, and you're not the only one that's going through this. There's somebody else, and dealing with kids that just won't, they're driving you nuts, or whatever it is, just that
Yep.
you're lying to you, or I actually got my wife actually a sign. I think, was it me? No, it was actually her sister. So my sister-in-law got her a sign for her desk that says, "I'm a little person snack bitch." I'm sorry, am I allowed to swear on here? And it is so true, because it's like literally at
Love
home
it.
here, like clockwork, at like, it's probably usually about a half hour, 45 minutes after we've just finished lunch. Can we have a snack? Can we have a
Yep.
snack?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, are
Yep.
you kidding me? I mean, no. But anyway, so it's like, and everybody, you guys are nodding your heads because you guys deal with that too. So,
Oh yeah.
but
I am
Yep.
it's
definitely
just
a
been
little
great
person
being a
snack
part
bitch.
of
That's for sure.
the. Oh yeah, it's just been great being a part of the whole group, whole stay-at-home dads group. And I'm
Yeah.
not quite as involved as I think I would like to be, because I have, besides my number one job of being a stay-at-home dad, I also have a couple little side businesses that I do when, like, the boys are at school and that kind of thing, that I'm doing pretty good at. But they're my number one job. So, and I would not trade this job for anything in the world. It's been
Yeah.
wonderful.
So
Mm-hmm.
and you say you have a couple boys. What's your family dynamic like? What do you like?
So, meaning like just like ages and that kind of thing, or just
Yeah, like are you married? Like ages of the kids, that kind of thing, you know.
yeah, I've got two kids that I'm aware of, and they are both, one just turned 7, and the other one is 9.5, and will turn 10 in January. And they're great, doing great at school, and one's the younger one's a pretty good little athlete. He's a pretty good little soccer player, and the other one is actually he's actually not a bad basketball player. So, and we've been doing that with each other. We actually got a basketball hoop for the boys, one of
Yeah.
those portable ones, that you can move and up and down,
Oh yeah.
out in the driveway, and we go out and sometimes have a family game of like horse, or of have you ever heard of knockout before with basketball?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
grew up in
So we
Indiana,
play
man. So
knockout too, and
I'm
yeah,
I'm
it's so
from
much
Indiana
fun.
originally. So I was, as some people
Oh,
say, I was
okay.
born with a basketball in my hand, kind of deal. So that's usually what
I
they tell
have to say,
everybody.
one of the best basketball movies ever created, Hoosiers, was just, oh my
You
God, that was
you
an
are not
unbelievable
wrong.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live and die by my movies. I mean, my shirt says, I don't know if you could see it there, but it says I speak
Yep.
fluent movie quotes. And I my whole life is a movie quote. So but
My wife
anyway,
is very much like that with me. She always gets after me. She's like, "You have so many movie quotes." So I feel your pain on that one.
well, my wife always says that I have about a grapefruit sized thing, part of my brain that is just movie quotes, and then other worthless information. So, and but my wife actually, works full time. She is an actuary. Real simply put, an actuary is somebody who most people know like actuaries as insurance tables. Insurance companies will use actuarial tables to determine life insurance rates. Like you're 35, non-smoker with a history of kidney disease in your family, so you're going to pay X amount for life insurance. But what she does is that she values pension and retirement plans for large companies. So they just get through saying, "Oh, you have enough money in your accounts. You don't have enough." It's really really sexy stuff. I mean, every
Mhm.
time that she talks actuary stuff, it's just like, "Oh, babe, I have to have you now."
Right here on the table. Please talk about life
Yeah.
insurance.
Hopefully the boys aren't there.
Just a little more.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Boys, go
But
play basketball. Go play basketball.
go play basketball. We got something to do. But we have a really really good family, and luckily my wife is able to work from home. She used to be 1 day a week, and then COVID hit, and now it's 1 day in the office a month, if that, and the rest of the time is at home. But I hear constantly when the boys need something, they can't find me if I'm, doing whatever, taking a nap or something. I'll get a text from my wife. I'm on a call. You need to come and deal with them. It's like, okay, yeah, I got it. Geez, I'm on a crapper or something.
Right. I just needed to poop. I just needed to poop.
Right? No kidding.
Yeah.
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 So that's very very typical of I'm on a call, or I just have to. I just need 90 minutes because not 90 minutes. I need like 90 seconds. I just have to send this email. And it's usually because dinner is a really big deal for my family, and she sees it as really really important, but that is of utmost important to me, having a meal. It's rare that we don't have a meal together, all four of us.
Yeah.
So that's really big for our family dynamic. And that's the time to be able to find out how everybody's day was and talk about the day. And in between, like, Nate, will you just sit down, please? And so it's in between that. Yeah, like dinner's a really big deal for us, and meals in general. And we've actually instituted a game night once a week.
Nice.
And the big one is Uno. The kids have really gotten into Uno, and I really enjoy it too. We played a game last night at my sister in law's place. My niece just taught it to us, the whole family. It's called Crash. Have you guys ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
No.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting, really fun card game. So,
Yeah, my
but anyway,
kids usually when we have a game night, they want to play Sushi Go. Have you ever heard of that one?
Sushi Go?
Sushi Go, yeah, it's a card game, and you
No,
have to build.
I don't know that one.
Basically, you're trying to build different types of sushi stacks and things. It's actually really easy. My kids are 7 and 10, and
Oh, okay.
they love it. That's a fun one for them to play. Or they like to play Spot It, which is
Oh, yeah. Okay.
that's another fun card game. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that like the whole idea of setting some time aside to have game time with the kids and stuff is something that definitely is.
Shout out to all my nerds. My family plays D&D.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Just
All right.
saying.
We're gonna have to end this call then, I think.
Hey, I let you talk about sports. You talked about sports. It was fun. I sat through it.
No. D&D, yeah. That was really, really big because, like I said, I'm old. I graduated in 1989 from high school, and so I remember
Oh yeah,
mid 80s there, D&D was huge. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of people that played it.
that's great.
I never
old
got
man.
into it because I really didn't. Part of it was I didn't really know that many people who played it, even though there were a lot of people that played it. And then also I was like embarrassed that I wouldn't know, how to do this, that, or the other thing. So I
Mhm.
never really got into it. But it's quite the game.
It's like any game, I mean, we've been playing basketball. They put in a new park, and they put in like a full court basketball with a pickleball court, line in the middle, and then two short goals. So they have 2 standard
Oh.
heights, 2 short heights, and we've been over just really just trying to dribble, which I've never seen something frustrate me as much as watching my kids dribble a basketball, because it's like blah blah blah. Oh, I got to go get it now. How can you not just slap that ball up and down? So yeah, I get it. Yeah, and basketball is a great game too, almost as good as D&D.
I've been teaching instructional basketball for the past few years, and trust me, I can tell you, like, it is definitely a challenging thing to be able to keep that ball underneath your palm. So I feel you, Danny. Yes. I get it. Try having though like 16 kids, like all
20
trying
kids.
to get, yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's pretty wild. So, but yeah, well, so you mentioned, so you're a sports guy. So are you coming in early to go to Lambeau Field with everybody on that little trip?
I didn't even I looked at the schedule and I didn't see that was on there, but yeah, I just might have to. When is that? Is that Wednesday or on Thursday they're doing
I
that?
think that's on Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Wednesday
Okay.
they're gonna
I
go
don't
up
know
there.
if I'll be in that early, but that would be really cool. Yeah, that'd be quite something.
We'll have to
So,
have Danny send you some information. There's like a sign up sheet or whatever. Have a
how far is Green Bay from Milwaukee?
what is that? An hour?
An hour.
Hour and a half, something like that. Yeah, it was definitely we're gonna rent a van, drive down there, do the full tour of the field. I mean, the full tour.
Yeah, full stadium tour.
Be back that evening. Yeah, stop at a brewery or something on the way back. Because
cool.
So
cool.
Yeah,
I just might have to come in early to partake in that.
It was a great choice. I mean, because they were looking at activities before the convention. That's something that the planning committee looks at every year. And I think it was Paul Gordon said it first, because we know Lambeau's just an hour away or hour and a half, whatever it was, and everyone's like, "Oh, really?" It's still a full day. I mean, you're committed. You're not going to get really anything else done. Drive down there and spend the day. But just
it's like the guys in. It's like the guys that in Orlando that went to Daytona Beach and did that whole thing. They rented a van and went to Daytona Beach for like a day. So that was yeah. They did like the NASCAR museum and a bunch of other different things and stuff. So there was a group that did that. Like for Cincinnati, there was a group of us that spent the day on the Bourbon Trail and hit a few different distilleries and just had a blast.
Right.
So that was a lot of fun too. So because I think we had rented like 2 vans for that one. So that was a good time because Danny and I both drove for that trip.
Yeah, it was a great trip.
Yeah, those are the fun
Gotcha.
those little fun like bonus things are just an extra silver lining to go into the convention. So there's a lot.
Absolutely.
It seems like there's a lot of them this year actually, with just all the different like 5K and doing some work in a park, and then the photo walk and brewery. There's a couple different like brewery setup hop. Like brewery hop type things. So yeah, there's a lot going on this year, which is going to be cool.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. Do you guys know there's something about beer there in Milwaukee and Wisconsin there, Danny? Or?
It's all old fashions, man.
Beer, cheese, sausages, old fashions.
Every stereotype about Wisconsin, it's not just a grain of truth, it's the whole truth.
It's the
the first weekend we were here, someone was putting up signs, like handmade signs, like you do like for a garage sale or something, for beer brats and beer cheese. And this is a joke, right? No, it was like, and it wasn't like a food truck or anything like that. It was just like a bunch of people that got together and we're serving brats and serving beer and then cheese made with beer. And I was like, this can't be real. But yeah, like you go to the burger place and they say, "Oh, you're getting fries. Would you like a little cup of ketchup or would you like a little cup of melted cheese?" And I went, "Are you kidding? Are you serious?
Cheese, please."
Right? Yeah. And I'm like, and this wasn't like it was just, it's Culver's, so they're all over. We're like, "Oh yeah, you can get a little cup of cheese with your fries." And I'm like, this is and everybody has cheese curds.
Oh yeah,
everybody has cheese curds.
That's the thing that's really interesting, is not everybody really understands. It's just like like mozzarella sticks or something. It's like no, cheese curds are different than that.
They really are.
I didn't have them up for the first time. I had them probably 5 or 6 years ago, and oh my god, it was at Culver's. They have Culver's here, and it was
Yeah.
awesome. Oh my god, it was
Squeaky
so good.
cheese, man.
Right.
That's
Oh
Squeaky
yeah,
cheese.
yeah.
squeaky
With
cheese.
your teeth kind of like
My
We
in-laws in Minnesota, when we go to visit, they said, "Did you bring us any
squeaky
curds?"
cheese.
I'm like, "No, I didn't bring you. Why would I bring you curds?" And like,
You're like, get back over to your side of the state.
the
Go.
Wisconsin curds are the best. You got to bring us the squeaky cheese. And I didn't even know what they meant by squeaky cheese at that time. I'm like, okay, I got you a bag from like the grocery. Oh, these are great. I'm like, it's just
The
cheese. But
the
like you
best
said, I was
ones.
thinking I think it was like mozzarella sticks. No.
I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson when I went up to Minneapolis. Pat Jacobs taught me this. He's like, the best cheese curds are the ones that you get at like the gas stations that are, and they set them up like right by the checkout. Those come in fresh
right
every
next to the
single.
gas station sushi.
No. Oh my gosh. No. Yeah. Ooh.
Is
Anyway,
that fresh? Sure it
good
is.
gosh. Yeah. Here we got the
Go
lake.
ahead.
We got the lake trout coming in.
Right.
But no, seriously though, like they'll have like a little space there where they have them sitting, and literally some guy from down the street, like he drives around the area dropping off, bags of cheese curds at different like little gas stations. And we stopped at one, and sure enough, I was like, I was like, what is this? And he's like, oh dude, he's like, you got to get a bag of those. And I did not regret it one bit. It was so delicious.
Oh, they are so
surprisingly good. Yeah.
Well, I have to ask you then, Brock, how long did it take you to get into Cincinnati chili then?
Oh, I was in it from the get-go. That was
You were?
yeah.
Okay.
So when I was in high school, I came down here to visit some friends, and pretty much been eating Skyline chili ever since then. So my wife hates it.
Oh, that's right, Skyline chili. Okay.
Yeah. So my wife is not a fan of it, but I'm a big fan of, like, anytime I'm like, oh, I can go get something for myself, like from time to time, like I will just go get Skyline. And actually, just recently, a buddy of mine started like working for them. He goes around to all the Skylines and like fixes things. And so we've met a couple times at Skylines and had he's like, it's on me today. I'm like, sweet.
Isn't the key ingredient in that is cinnamon, right? Cinnamon is in the
cinnamon
in the chili,
and some
right?
chocolate, actually, in the chili. So
chocolate. I
a little
did
bit
not
of
know
chocolate.
that. Okay.
Yeah, there's a little bit of chocolate in it as well. So
and then served over spaghetti.
Served over spaghetti. Yep.
Okay.
I've never been that high.
Well, the other big,
then you haven't been high enough.
I put some weird stuff together, but when we went to Cincinnati and they're like, "Oh, your house is running," I'm like, is that spaghetti? Really? I mean, that's literally spaghetti. Yeah. I'm too old, man. I can't make this many. No, I can't change this much. I can't do that.
I have to say, it does. It takes a little bit of getting used to, and it is. I mean, because it is. You think about the flavor combinations. Go what? I mean, cinnamon and okay.
Do you need me to bring you? Do you need me to bring you a can or two of it when I come up?
You just might have to the convention.
In a can?
Yeah.
In a can?
I got you. I got you, Derek. I got you.
Cool.
A can of chili, man. That ain't no.
Yep, no. That's how it comes. It's all good.
Well, chili.
The other big thing in Cincinnati is geta, which is like a sausage and oat mixture. I don't think they served it at the convention in Cincinnati, but they have like a whole sausage and oat. It's like an old world like recipe, like a breakfast meal type thing. But there's a whole geta fest. Actually, it's like 2 weekends here in town, and they do all kinds of different things with it.
How do you spell it?
It's Goetta.
Oh yeah, I didn't get anywhere close.
Goetta, Geta, and it's pronounced Geta.
G as in George. And then I think it's either just OA or EA. EOTTA.
German breakfast sausage.
Yes. It's really tasty.
Pork, beef, steel cut oats, fresh onions, and spices.
If anybody knows is listening to the podcast that is from Philadelphia, my dad was from there, and scrapple was the big thing, and I loved scrapple. You guys know what scrapple is?
I do.
I don't know what it is.
It's scrambled eggs, cream cheese, and usually salmon is the one that we make here.
No. Not even close.
Wow. Okay.
That's not even close.
My bad.
No,
Tell us what
you're
Scrapple
wrong.
is.
You should feel bad.
Scrapple is it's a spicy like breakfast sausage, and it comes in like a block, and it's kind of like you know when you get a gyro, the
Okay.
same kind of thing, and so you kind of slice it off and then you fry it up, and
That sounds like Geta.
it's like yeah, spicy kind of sliced sausage, and it is
Yeah.
really really good.
That sounds like
But
Geta.
that's Philadelphia Scruffle. I don't know about
Okay.
what you.
I don't know what you were doing, but don't ever call it Scrapple again.
Okay. Now I know.
Yeah, the people are from Philly are probably going to have a talk with you, Brock, at the next convention. So
Come
It's all good. That's all
and
good.
politely, very polite. Just like, hey, buddy, let's
I
sit
don't
down
know.
for a minute.
I've not heard people
I'm
from
gonna eat
Philadelphia
this.
being very polite. That's all I got.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
So we're all over the place tonight, which is awesome, and I love it. But
Yep.
I'm going to be the person that puts us back for the first time ever, puts us back on track, because I do want to talk about your presentation, because you did your presentation previously in Minneapolis, was it?
correct.
So I couldn't remember Minneapolis or Portland. Okay.
Correct.
And it's really a very important subject, I think. And Brock and I talked about this a bit in the intro, so I won't belabor it. But especially, we're looking at having a lot of new stay-at-home dads coming in both to the organization, and they'll be at the convention too, and looking at how much time your partner is going to take to do whatever job they're doing. And we mentioned like being married to a physician or a doctor or something like that, and you know they're going to be out there. Even my wife and Brock's wife, odd times for phone calls, you're supposed to be off work and you're still working, and a lot of things like that. So we do want to talk about that, because we both feel that it's very important for the organization, and for any at-home parent to understand what it's like and how to navigate it. So if you could just give us kind of an overview. We of course don't want all your bullet points or your PowerPoints on this screen, but just give us an overview of what that's about.
Okay. Yeah. To just give you a little taste, it's being married to a high commitment spouse is it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of time, patience, and I think that's the big thing. And you know, my wife hates it when I give her the, you know, roll in my eyes, like if I have to do this or that. And like one of my big pet peeves, I've started to kind of live with it, is that because I do all the cooking in the family. I really enjoy cooking. Is that when it's time for dinner, I've started to give her a sort of like, okay, babe, 10-minute warning, and then you know we're having dinner. And she'll, you know, usually appreciates that. And I've just started doing that probably in the last 6 months or so. I give her a warning because she really appreciates that, as opposed to, babe, dinner, and she's right in the middle of sending an email or something like that. Right. But I think the challenge is really, my wife, for instance, I mean, we'll talk specifics here with my wife, is that she is very, very, very good at what she does. She's excellent at it, and she's one of those kind of classic overachievers, to where even jobs that she's hated, she's been excellent at. And you know, I hate her for that, damn it, because I'm kind of the opposite.
Yeah,
don't put my heart, if I don't like a job or I really, really hate it. Oh, here's my son. Hey, bud, can I get back with you in just a minute?
It's dinner time.
Okay, all right, I'll be down in just a little bit. That's my call for dinner.
It's all good.
I just, yeah, but the big thing is, where was I? Oh, saying that
she's really good at her job, and
yeah, it's, you know, time for dinner. If I spring it on her, she's very, very good at what she does, and a lot of the time she's right in the middle of something if I spring that on her, and you know, I'll say, okay, yeah, we got dinner in like, you know, 10 minutes, come down, and then 20 minutes has passed, and then I, you know, call up to her, hey, you know, dinner, we're all waiting here for it. And and that kind of annoys her, but at the same point she knows that I already gave her the warning. You know, is it really that important that you can't, you know, cut your day 5 minutes short or something like that? So it's learning how to sort of like understand that she's got a big commitment. She's the breadwinner. She's the, you know, bringing the money in. But at the same point, you know, we got the family too, and you know,
Yeah.
that's important. And meals, like I said before, are extremely important in our family, as a time to sort of unwind, find out how everybody's day was. And so learning, like, you know, little stuff like that. Like, also, I think, and I'm going to touch on this in my next breakout, after, which is, basically how to maintain a healthy relationship with your spouse. Is one of the things is understanding, what their love language is, and for
Mm.
them understanding what yours is as well. For instance, for me, I mean, there's 5 love languages, and maybe you guys can help me remember. They are acts of service, like words of
Words of
affirmation,
affirmation.
Hmm. Physical
physical
touch.
touch,
Hmm.
um,
Gift giving.
gifts,
Hmm. Gift
and
giving.
what's the fifth one?
Don't know.
Quality time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And my number one is quality time. So you know, given us not making much money and she is around all the time and we get to spend time with the family, that's real big for me. For her, it's, acts of service. So if I, you know, completely clean up downstairs and vacuum and that kind of thing, that is, you know, that's her love language there. In her mind, I'm just like, you know, doing the Lord's work, if you will,
Hmm.
or I'm really, really speaking to her, saying, oh, I care enough about that. I did this, you know, I vacuumed the whole house or whatever it is. So understanding that, I think, is really, really key, especially with a high commitment spouse, to, understanding those little things and like love languages, and, you know, not getting frustrated when they have to work late. If it's a constant kind of thing to where it's like every single night and they're working late into the night or something, that's when, you know, you got to sit down maybe and have a little talk, and, you know, just talk to them, discussion, saying, you know, I understand you got to work, you got to bring in the money, but there's a point where, I mean, the family is not being neglected, but we need to be, you know, more, you need to a little, at least put a little more effort into the family.
Yeah.
And because, you know, I've had, previous spouses, not previous spouses. I'm sorry, I just
We're gonna edit that out.
friends.
That's all right. That's all right. I have previous spouses.
No,
It's fine. It's fine.
this is my only spouse. She's my number one, and one and only
That
one
she knows
so
of.
far. Yeah,
She's on the other
to
side of the door
where,
listening in, like, what?
yeah, to where they have a job to where their bosses or whatever keep on telling, oh yeah, this is just, you know, temporary, it's going to get better and get better, and it never does.
Yeah.
And like 6 months later, you know, they're still working 80 hours a week or something like that, and it's really affecting, because it's really affecting the family. And, so that's maybe a point where you need to sit down and discuss, you know, can you talk to your boss, because this is really, really affecting us. I'm sick and tired or whatever of being, you know, pretty much a single parent because you're working all the time. So, you know, or something like that. And you don't have to go into that discussion, being, you know, adversarial about it or
Yeah.
really upset, but we see, you know, you need to start standing up for yourself, because, and I did, Claire sometimes has, my wife has issues with that, with standing up for her work rights, if you
Hmm.
will, and going, you know, yeah, I understand this is a busy time of year or whatever, but, you know, it's been 2 months, and, you know, I'm putting in 60, 70 hours a week, and this is really affecting my family, and we need to do
Hmm.
something about this. So, and like I've always said, and I said before, I'd much rather we make less money, but she's not working as much, and we have more together time, than she's making a crap ton of money, but she's working 80 hours a week. I mean,
Right.
sorry, but there's just not enough money for that. It's just,
Hmm.
you know, if I never get to see my spouse, then I'm
Yeah.
sorry. The money
Yeah.
is just not important when it comes to that. So, but anyway, so I've kind of ran off a little bit at the
No,
mouth
no,
there
that's.
on
I think
that.
you're right in line with what we kind of were hoping to get about your presentation. You know, communication, and
Yes.
definitely we've talked about it before. Knowing your partner's love language, knowing how your partner says "I love you," is
Hmm.
incredibly important. And
Yes.
then healthy boundaries, both for yourself and your relationship with your partner, but also in your partner's relationship with their boss or their job or whatever it is. understanding, no, no, we stop here. That's the boundary, because otherwise it's unhealthy for us. So that's
absolutely.
Great points.
Yeah. And on God bless her, Claire has actually said to her boss, she said, I need to cap it at like 50 hours a week. I can't be working over that. Or I think it might have been 45 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And her boss said, yeah, okay. And, it's not going to change right away, but, it will change. And it has gotten better. But she stood up for herself, which was really, really good. I think also understanding what your spouse is, especially with the high commitment ones, what their triggers are. Like if I come into her office and she's in the middle of like a deadline, or she is on a call or something like that, and I want to talk about, oh hey, yeah, I want to buy my tickets for the stay-at-home dad convention today, can we sit down? And she'd be like, no, I've got too much to deal with today.
Here's my calendar.
So
find a slot.
a calendar, and then, or I will just send her a text. Text, and then she can get to that when she can. But so that's knowing what their triggers are. Also, knowing what they like to do to decompress is a big one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where, for instance, my wife, I used to, she likes the garbage TV. She likes the real, I dub it the real Desperate Housewives of Beverly Hills and of New York and everything. And she watches like The Bachelorette and all that. And when we first started dating, she watched that stuff. And she finally would kick me out of the room. She's like, get out of here. You are making fun of this the whole time. Just get out. I can't, no, I'm not watching this with you. And so I'd be like, okay. And then I said to her later, it's like, why? You're so smart. You're really very intelligent and everything. Why do you watch this trash? And she said, babe, I work hard all day long. I just want to sit down and watch something trashy that can just shut my brain off.
Yeah.
And then, to where it's just like brain candy. And I'm like, okay, I get that. Everybody has that. Everybody has their garbage that they like to decompress, or I like to say decompose with. And because everybody has that. And knowing, like, for instance, knowing what that is really big too. Like, oh, you want to sit down by yourself downstairs and just watch trashy TV, on a Saturday or something like that. Hey, I get that. I understand. Everybody's got their thing. So
right.
That's good to know, though. Yeah, it is
very, very similar situation here. And my wife watches stuff. It's usually cooking shows, and then that they're the crew of a ship or whatever, like a super yacht.
Yes.
And they're below decks.
Below deck, yeah.
She's always on. I'm like, are you watching this because you want to feel smart? Because these people are ding dongs. I mean, she's like, I don't know. I just, but like you said, she needs that decompression. She needs that time for her brain just to settle down and veg out and just, just rot a little bit. And we say brain candy too. She'll look at it and go, what's brain candy? I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Do you guys have shows that you watch together?
Yeah. We have a lot of shows we watch together, but they're generally a little more intelligent or meaty. Yeah. Because I'm with kids all day and my brain is rotten all day long. So at the end of the day, I don't want to listen to somebody smart. I want to listen to somebody that knows their ABCs. I don't want to listen to Bluey all day. It's
exactly.
So but
what about you, Brock?
So
my wife and I definitely have shows that we like to watch together. Outlander is probably the biggest series that we enjoy. Which
I've heard of it, but I've never.
They're on their final season right now, and we're waiting for it to finish so that then we can subscribe to Stars and binge watch it basically.
Isn't it about vampires or something? Or
no, it's
it's
time
set
travel. It's time travel. It's basically about a woman who she goes through the stone in Scotland and ends up 200 years back, and she can travel back and forth through it. Actually, anybody can with a certain item. And so in this newest season, they are in America. It's right around the Revolutionary War. And so it's really interesting, just the different areas to it. But there's a whole bunch of books on it as well. And it's very captivating.
Husband in the modern times, the actor plays the worst, most evil person in the world when she goes to the time when she goes back.
Yes. Oh my God.
Same person. And they say that this is, you look exactly like he looks exactly like my husband, and
Well,
she
it's because
loves her husband in the modern
yeah,
times.
because
And
it's his
like great
relative
great or
actually.
something.
It's his
Yeah,
ancestor. Yeah, is what it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Um,
okay.
and
Can you
it's
imagine?
that first season of Outlander actually has probably one of the most like gruesome, like sexualized scenes I have ever watched in any show or movie in my entire life. I mean,
Really?
Yeah,
it's so
very
intense.
triggering.
It is very hard to watch. And actually, like I don't even think we watched the whole thing because it is just so graphic. And it's so well done too at the same time. And so it's almost like one of those things where it's like I want to watch, but I don't want to watch. You're like
What
um,
we watched the have you ever seen or heard of the show Billions on
I haven't
Showtime?
watched it, but I've seen it. Yeah,
no.
Yeah,
I know what
yeah.
it
The
is.
the first the first scene of the first episode, you're going like, what the F is this? What is this? And if you can get past the first scene, it's a really good show, but it was like, ooh,
Yeah.
like
Sounds like the first
so,
episode
but
of
I
The
know what you're talking
Boys.
about. Oh,
Oh,
I got to finish that. I started like the first few episodes, and I gotta get back
every
into that.
episode of The Boys, every single episode of even the cartoon
Yeah.
they made of it, everything about The Boys is messed up.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. I love it. Don't get me
But we
wrong, but it is absolutely you. Like Marnie's never watched it. My wife Marnie, she's like, oh, do you think I'm like, no, 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 no. You would not like this at all. This is
Oh,
not where you want to go. Mm-mm.
Sorry. So my wife and I's biggest thing though is period piece type shows. So anything
oh, right.
that's kind of from that realm of just back in the day, like the whole the pre-Yellowstone, like the 1883, the 1923 that they
Mm-hmm.
came out with. We really were big fans of those. We were watching Downton Abbey,
Hmm.
like all those types of period piece stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of that's our bread and butter. Like we'll sit down and watch that and just enjoy it.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, and yeah, what you're talking about, Danny, it's that's the way I feel about I really got hooked on Game of Thrones.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
love Game
I
of
mean,
Thrones. Yes.
yeah, and Game of Thrones, but my wife would absolutely hate it
She
because
will not
I
watch it.
mean, and I think there's like four rules I came up with not rules, but sort of like things. Number one is that somebody don't get any attached to any character because somebody's going to die. I mean, they're going to
Mm-hmm.
die. They just
Yep.
are. A gruesome death, like every single episode. It's incredibly unpredictable. I only predicted, I think, two things in the whole 8 seasons that were going to
Mm-hmm.
happen that did. And then if she's of age, you're going to pretty much see every woman naked. I
Yep.
mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
just but
Yep.
great show. I loved it. And I don't know how other people are, but I actually didn't mind the ending to the whole series. I didn't mind it.
Oh,
Some
I
people
liked
really
it.
hated it,
Yeah.
but I didn't mind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a probably one of the only ways that they could have ended it, and I didn't mind it at all. So
Yeah. I've
Mm-hmm.
watched House
like
of
that.
Dragon too, just that and that was I like that a lot as well too. And that got a lot of scrutiny as well. So
Oh,
I don't know.
gotcha. Yeah,
I
and
enjoy those.
yeah, my wife and I, for real quick for us is we watch together. We watch Jack Ryan. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we watch let's see. Oh, we just got into Ted Lasso. Have you guys seen that?
Oh, I love Ted
Yeah.
Lasso. Yeah, we
We
watched
don't
Ted
have
Lasso
this.
as well.
I
Oh my
want to
God.
so bad, but we don't have the subscription. I'm like, this is the one thing that we're not subscribed to. Can't you just get it? And every
I,
time we talk about it, my wife's like, "Oh, I'll do it," and then we
yeah,
forget
never
about it for a
happens.
month.
I
Yeah,
think you can do because we're on a free trial, a 3 month free trial on it, and so that's how we're watching it.
cool.
And
We'll look into that.
oh yeah, but oh my God, Dan, it is a
It
great
is
show, and it's
excellent.
not all comedy. It's not all drama. It's like a mixture of both, but they do it so well.
There's a
Mhm.
They
lot
do
of
it so well.
psychology involved in it and a lot of
There is.
just mental health is a huge aspect actually throughout the entire show. Ted
Yes.
Lasso is somebody who deals with anxiety and panic attacks, and
Yeah.
they do
Mhm.
not shy away from it at all, and they address
No,
it up front, and
they
I love
don't.
it. Like that's yeah. So I'm a former like soccer player, and been in. I love soccer actually to like the fullest extent, and so you get that element of it, but there's so much more going on with that show that my wife and I both sat down and we really got into that as well.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. it's excellent, and we're only like 7 episodes in, and we're hooked.
Oh
It
man.
is really, really that good, and you don't even have to be a soccer fan to like it.
No,
I
you
mean,
don't.
yeah,
I do
no,
like
it's
soccer.
Because Ted Lasso doesn't even know what offsides is, right?
right.
Who does? I'm sorry. Who does? Every
Yeah,
time somebody
yeah,
tries to explain it, like he was offside. What does that mean? Uh, well, they just were. So, but no, yeah, it's Ted Lasso has been recommended. I mean, probably 12 times, and
yeah.
one of the only people, like other than maybe her family, that my wife truly loves and respects is her best friend from like middle school or something. They've known each other forever. They're very, very, very similar, very bookish.
Yeah.
My wife has her master's degree in English. And her friend has been a teacher forever, and they always talk about literature and all these things. And she said, you should just go ahead and get it because you need to watch this show. And I thought I'm like, that's it. We're going to get it now. And I don't remember to look for it unless I write it down. Because I'm not like, I won't remember this tomorrow. Ted Lasso won't come up until somebody else says it.
Write it on your
I
hand.
told her, no,
Yes.
I have an app for that. I have an app for writing everything down and also paper.
And then there's also,
But
and you might appreciate this, Danny, also for the Apple TV Plus, you get the movie Tetris. Have you heard or seen of it? Or
I
I
haven't
know it.
seen it
Yeah,
yet.
I've seen the trailers. I would love to watch Tetris.
It
yeah.
is very, very good. I just watched it the other night, and I
Yeah.
was like blown away. It
I'm
was
going to
very
check that
well
out.
done. Yeah, and I mean, even for somebody who, I mean, I wasn't. I played video games when I was younger, but I wasn't a big gamer. But it was still, oh my god, really, really well done. There's also a series I'm watching now called Hijack with Idris Elba, and it's that's only on Apple TV Plus, and that's really, really good. Tehran is also another really good series. They got a lot of good stuff.
They've
So
got some
Danny,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
you could basically lose
they,
yourself in Apple TV really quick. There's
oh
so
yeah,
many
you can.
series. Well, and they got that new series
Great.
out with the guy who was Spider-Man. It's a psycho thriller
Which
type
one?
of
There's like
thing.
12.
Not the newest one, Tom Holland. He's in it,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
basically like he's got like a multi-personality disorder or something. I'd watched just like the first episode of
Yeah.
it, and I hadn't gotten back to it, but it's very interesting. I watched the first episode, and I was like, I need to think on this one for a little bit before I watch the
One
second
of the
episode.
better one of the better World War II movies I ever saw also was Greyhound with Tom Hanks, and that's only on Apple
Hmm.
TV
That
Plus.
is, yeah.
It's
Well,
good.
in the
Yeah.
Will Smith movie, was it Emancipation? I think is what it is, or something like
Oh yeah,
that.
is that
That's on Apple.
only on Apple TV Plus?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's on there too.
Yeah,
So
it's loaded with all sorts of
it's
Yeah.
stuff. But man, I know this isn't a movie and TV
It
podcast.
sure
So
was great
sorry
to bring you on and talk about your presentation for 3 minutes.
it's all good.
But
Hey,
Brock was saying, he was like, I don't really know
Yeah.
Derek. I've heard about him and he's been like weird. I'm like, yeah, your circles just haven't collided yet. I get it. And I'm like, but I guarantee there will not be more than 3 seconds through this entire recording where we weren't talking about something. There's
No.
it's just going to happen. Derek's,
There's no awkward silence. Huh?
right. This is absolutely a compliment on my side. I want you to, before I say this, but I knew you were going to just go. And I love that. I love it when we talk and we're like, hey, I just got 5 minutes. And literally, Brock, I'll tell you, Derek and I had, because I originally wanted to get him and Howard Young to work with me on the keynote that I'm doing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I talked with him and we got on the phone. After I think our second call, we both like, okay, so I only have 7 minutes. No, we cannot. I don't have enough time to talk because we're not gonna stop. We're just gonna go.
Yeah.
And we literally had to say no. When I have an hour, we can talk for 7 minutes.
Well, it sounds like
that's what
as soon
we
as I
both
see
do.
Derek, I'm just gonna walk over and like link arms with him, and we're gonna go skip off to
Yeah.
somewhere to have a beer together. I think so. It's gonna end up happening.
Right.
Conversation.
Well, the big thing, the difference between my wife and I is I'm a major extrovert, and she's much more of an introvert. I mean, I wouldn't call her an extreme introvert, but she's much more of a. She'd much prefer to stay at home, and watch a show with me as opposed to going out and with a big crowd of people because she does
Make
not
7 new
particularly like
friends.
crowds. Yeah.
I mean,
and well, it's funny because Mark Longbreak,
yeah,
he was talking to his wife, and they were having a conversation about something, and her like, I hope I'm not, sharing something that's not. I don't think it is, but not that my information to share. But her like nightmare, not nightmare, but just the thing that she absolutely loathes, Mark's wife, is like a cocktail party where she's got to just schmooze and do small talk, and she has to do that sometimes because she's a doctor. And
Oh yeah.
for me, excuse me, she said to Mark, she's like, God, I wish I was just more like your friend Derek, to where, I mean, because Mark tells her that we're be in the airport and I'm there chatting with the ticket agent at the airline counter, and all of a sudden, the ticket agent's going to be coming to my house, spending a week at my place,
Yep.
because we're best friends.
Yes.
Like,
That's my wife is like that too. She's like,
Yes.
she's like, no stranger. You go somewhere. She's like, you're just like your dad. No stranger. Like,
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with that. Hey, I'll tell you what,
that-
man, I've met some great strangers, and I've benefited in all kinds of interesting ways from getting to know those people.
And that's how introverts make friends. Is an extrovert
Right?
comes up and adopts them. I
Yeah,
mean,
yes.
I've met so many people. I'm like, come on, we're gonna go get cheeseburgers. Let's just go.
Mark is much more of an introvert, and I'm much more of an extrovert. But I think, we, like I said before, if I had never pushed for the friendship, he said, this never would have happened, because I wouldn't have reached out to you.
And that's
Right.
such a great thing
You
too.
adopted
And
him.
I feel like that's something that both this organization, dad groups, and things like that really does, is allows for that to happen, and almost organically in a lot of ways. Like, I know guys in my dad's group here in town that have sent me messages before, and they're like, so thank you so much for like starting this group. Like, I actually met this other guy, we're like really good friends now, and we hang out and do things together. And I would have never had that had this not been around. And I'm just like, awesome. That makes me so happy to hear that.
Multiple stories like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and you hear that at
absolutely,
HomeDadCon all the time.
Yep. Yeah.
All right,
Because
so
you're a lot of times
doors
come
open.
from the same situation.
Doors open. It's time for dinner.
I say,
We've kept you too long. We have kept you too long.
Okay.
Oh man, you got the second one too.
My
you got
bad.
them both. There's another one
I'm
behind you too.
I'm sorry. That was
both
me
coming in.
Just tell him it was sorry.
No. That's okay. I guess I'll end this with just saying that I'm also excited about my other presentation, which is maintaining a healthy relationship with your spouse. And I mean, some of this stuff there's a little bit of crossover there, but doing things together, and thank you, Danny, for one of your suggestions, having a date lunch once a week. And we started doing that, and it's great. And actually, Claire is the one who pushes me. She's like, "Oh, okay, we had this scheduled for Wednesday. Can we move it to Thursday or whatever?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I totally forgot about that." But we put it on our calendar, and it's great.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Love it.
Awesome.
All right. Well, hey, Derek, thank you so much for coming on the show, and we look forward to seeing you. It's 7 weeks away, man. We'll be able to see each other in person. So it's going to come quicker than maybe some of us are ready for it. I don't know. I think Danny and I are definitely ready to be there already. So, but thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite on the show, guys.
Definitely. You have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.